Hi, for any of you that don't know me, my name is Gulliver Waite. I am a junior logistics manager here at Huel. I've gone through the mental health first aid training, so I'm a mental health first aider and mental health ally here at Huel, based in the Tring office. Whilst we were kind of going through this process and I was doing the training and we were putting this presentation together, I thought it might be helpful for me to talk about the issues I've dealt with, mental health issues I've dealt with. It's not a thing people talk about often, but I'm quite a firm believer, for me certainly, not for everyone, but just personally for me, that I want to talk about it. I don't want it to dominate who I am and be something I hide. I want it to be able to, control it in a way. So I thought it might be helpful for me to discuss it on here and just speak about my experiences. So just to jump straight into it, in 2014, I was diagnosed with severe depression and anxiety. This was at the time, I was in my second year of university, I think. And at this time, the reason I was diagnosed then was because my mum found me having a panic attack in my bedroom after I was whilst I was handing in a piece of coursework on the online portal. I think I'd made a spelling error or something on the title, and it sent me into full-blown panic. So she encouraged me and gently helped me go to the doctor to seek some help. And so that's what I did. But just a bit of info about the time, and then so I was having panic attacks nearly every day, oftentimes multiple times a day, about the smallest of things and everything, particularly being diagnosed with social anxiety, particularly social aspects. So I wasn't a huge fan of being in places with lots of people. Talking to people was incredibly stressful. I certainly would not have been able to do something like this where I film myself. But it was all things. So one of the big things that year was the postman delivered a parcel to the wrong house, to our house, and I signed for it and took it in thinking it was for a roommate of mine who had the same name, but it wasn't. It was for the street over. So I just went round and gave it to him, as you would. But afterwards, got myself into an extreme panic that they would claim that they had never received the parcel, that Royal Mail would come back to me saying, you've signed for the parcel and you're going to go to jail or something for stealing it, and this, that, and the other. So I kind of locked myself in my room, filmed a video confession of me talking about how I'd signed for this parcel, but I had handed it to this house, and I filmed it outside the house showing that I'd been there and stuff. It was very strange and a very intense situation, but from all other points, from everyone else, no one really saw that this was happening. I was in my second year of university. I wasn't doing magnificently, but I think I was averaging like a low 2-1. And I was getting by. Internally, I was not getting by. I was getting pretty close to maybe dropping out because the pressure and everything was getting too much. But externally, no one really seemed to notice too much going wrong. And I think that's one of the main things with mental health issues, is that I internalized it. And if my mum hadn't just happened to walk into my room at the time I was having a panic attack and hadn't found me, I don't think I'd be here at Huel. I don't think that I'd be the person I am today, because without the help that I got, I certainly wouldn't have been able to do what I've done and be here at this time. If you met me then and now, I'm an entirely different person. But it's incredibly difficult to make that step on your own. I would just convince myself that it was me. I was just being silly. Like, this is how everyone feels. When clearly not everyone feels like they're having a heart attack because a postman delivered a package to your house instead of the street over and you've just handed it to them. It's crazy that how it can have an effect on your mind, and how people just can't notice because you become an expert at hiding these things and hiding the signs and removing yourself from situations where this would be an issue. So this had not just started in my second year of university. I can't really, to be honest, remember a time when I hadn't felt like this, but certainly since 16. So by 2014, I'd become quite good, bit of a master at hiding these sorts of things and these issues, and just kind of kept to myself and didn't let anyone see any of this. So yeah, as I said, not really sure where I'd been, but I went to the doctor. I got put on antidepressants, which also help with anxiety. I then started therapy. I went through therapy a long time. So I did phone therapy, group therapy, and then eventually one-to-one therapy with a therapist. This was in Aylesbury. When I was living there, whilst I was working for Huel, I finished therapy whilst I was working for Huel. So this was all going on whilst I first started here. And yeah, I'm now much better. I can't say that I'm completely sorted. I'm still on antidepressants. I recently went back on them after I came off and had a bit of a difficult period, so had to go back on them. But I can't stress how useful it was to go through this process, and how scary it was, and how difficult it was to do, but how much better I feel for having done it. There's no easy way to kind of say that your, I guess, brain is fighting against you, and making it difficult for you to handle these sorts of things in general life, and making it incredibly stressful to do anything and everything. And that's why I require the medication, just to help take off that top level. Why I require it, just to sometimes take off that top level, because I can go to extremes of panic and fear, and depression, which is feeling like you can't do anything, and just tiredness all the time. And so it's been very useful for me. It's not for everyone, but for me it was fantastic. For other people, just therapies, the better things to do, being more active, stuff like that. But I guess I'm just making this video and telling my story in the hopes that if anyone is having a difficult time, if anyone is struggling, whether it's about anything I've spoken about or anything at all, it really isn't just limited to this, to talk to someone. It could be me if you want to talk to me, be here at work or Slack or WhatsApp, whatever. It could be any of the mental health first aid team. It doesn't even have to be them. It can be a close friend or family member. But please, as knowing that I ignored this advice 100 times over, please do talk to someone and speak about how you're feeling. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But I cannot stress how much easier it is once you've done so and are starting on that road to feeling better. So yeah, hopefully, if this hasn't been helpful to anyone, that's fine. But I hope if this has helped one person even minimally, just with how they're feeling and how they're doing, then great. But yeah, anytime, if you need anything, please come to any of us or me to discuss it. We're always here, and I think that's what this is all about, us showing that we've been through this as well. It's certainly not just myself here at Huel. We've been through this, and other people have been through this, and you're not alone if you're struggling. Even though it might feel like it, and it still feels like it's me saying this, I will still feel like it a lot, but you're not. We're all family in a weird way, but we all want to help you. Certainly, I know everyone else does, but I can say from hand on heart, I do as well. So yeah, please just talk to people, and thanks for listening.